Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Your $25,000 Halo Infinite Community Gauntlet presented by Mountain Dew Game Fuel. $25K on the line, an MVP trophy, by the way, $1,000 prize pool just for the MVP, made on remastered maps. Man, what else could you ask for within this Halo Infinite tournament?
Nothing. You can't ask for anything else. It's nostalgia like crazy, and I'm enjoying every moment of it. I'm just excited to continue to see these maps and continue to see how these teams adapt to all of the changes on these maps. You know, these are obviously maps from 2007, 2008, and Halo 3, and we remade them, and some of them have some significant changes, such as Sylvanas, maybe even a little bit of, well, Narrow's not so much. So mostly on this series layout, Sylvanas, and is definitely playing very differently because of that, Tony.
Yeah, I feel like that's really important to mention that like these are remastered, not remade maps, so they're definitely different as far as scaling to implement, you know, sprint and obviously the mechanic that Halo Infinite have. On top of that, there's also they're reimagined a bit to look a little bit different. Some of these back alley ways to get over toward the tower side, over on Cliffside, the remake of Blackout, or like you said, Sylvanas having a lot of different angles as well. Pick a little bit more traditional. I'll even say the same for Banished Narrows. But either way, I've been liking this tournament. I think it's a breath of fresh air. I'm a ranked guy. I play the same maps over and over again. And to be honest with you, I never get sick of it because I'm always of the quality over quantity type of argument, in my opinion. However, these one-off tournaments, you know, $25,000 on the line, but having tournaments once in a while, we're kind of switching up the meta a little bit. I'm about it.
And we're switching up the starting weapon as well, so we get to see the Bandit in full action here. A lot of these, you know, you saw players, you know, winning Worlds and then coming right after Worlds, going on to the update, playing with the Bandit, grinding. So Frosty is one of the players doing 12-hour streams after winning Worlds. I mean, the meta has definitely shifted. The maps shift the meta even more, and that's what makes this very, very exciting. Of course, we're gonna have CTF here on the Narrows remake. It's Banished Narrows this time, and I'm a big fan of red, so this map is beautiful to me. We're gonna see you know, which team is going to be able to come out on top of this very first game. We always talk about how important that game number one is in terms of momentum, so this first game is going to be very important for both these squads.
Yeah, you were talking about the meta shift, although these are much different maps than you could expect to see in your ranked lobbies or even going into competitive season 3 of the HCS. One thing that is similar is the fact that we're starting off with the Bandit Rifle, high TTK, and a lot of skill expression with this weapon, especially with how hard it is at that final headshot. I find that the first 4 shots are easy, but headshots like what we just saw right there, they're hard to come by unless you're Necessity. 3 down go Antigravity, and Status Quo already playing aggressive.
Yeah, Status Quo gets those first 3 kills. They end up getting rockets as well, but a great kill from Straight Stick gonna quell this push, and hopefully they can continue to play that defense. Straight Stick with this OS and the power weapons in hand really make things pretty easy, and we saw how Straight Stick was able to play earlier. 3 down now for Status Quo. That was a great hold there from Antigravity.
Yeah, with the team going 3 down, Straight Stick had to make some plays with that overshield and sniper combination, and luckily he was able to do just that. And mind you, he's still alive over toward the mid side. Meanwhile, Necessity with camouflage trying to get an angle on the Slayer, puts him down to 1 shot but can't quite find the head. Luckily has a second chance to put some damage onto Severance and has reinforcements coming in quickly.
Yeah, great job by Necessity to utilize that camo to play his life, but also, of course, get that 100% kill, that very easy kill on that player inside a lobby. 3 go down now for Status Quo, though, and it's Straight Stick at the top of the mid of the map, and we've seen what he can do with that snipe, so it's a bit scary for this Status Quo roster.
Yeah, as spawners start to come up and as the battle starts to navigate over toward the sword side, he has a perfect angle on them. Until Squale comes with a quickness, triple kill out of him. 5 total on the board, and more importantly, they're going to be taking ground immediately, taking control and limiting the option of anti-gravity.
Yeah, great point there, right? They get those 4 down, they get that top center control, and that's going to provide them an extra push here. They get 2 down once again, so Status Quo with that 2 down, make that 3, make that 4 with Severance, a big win right there, but they can still get this cleanup and pull this flag.
Nestle with the big kill. Now going to try to navigate this flag over toward the bottom mid side. Double kill before bringing that flag forward. You have to secure your kills, but once again, Straight Stick has the opportunity to change the tides with an overshield play. The Stick is going to neutralize that immediately. Although he's able to take down Burton, can he take down Flame Sword? Apparently he can. Doesn't need the extra shields. All he needs is a bit of teamwork.
I mean, Straight Stick has been playing phenomenal this entire tournament. We saw him in that, I think it was that second round of the winners bracket, where he was just playing phenomenal on that Guardian remake, and now again doing a little bit of the same here in this very first game in Narrows. Is definitely a player I'm looking to watch for the rest of this first game.
And doing some damage indeed, but down to one shot he goes. Eli gonna be his body shield, playing the front position and doing it so well, getting that entry frag damage, making sure the status quo end up going 3 down. They are able to spawn up, but the pressure is still coming in from Antigravity. A killing spree now out of Eli, putting down damage, staying alive. All he needs is his teammates to catch up, and this could be dangerous for status quo.
I mean, a lot of these players are greats from the back in the Halo 2 days, and we're seeing that the skill transfer is over. Eli doing a great job starting this game off 9-6 already. He's got the slays necessary, but 3 go down for Antigravity once again. The rockets in the hands of Squall. It's going to make it a bit difficult here for Antigravity to play defense. Squall can really make these rockets work and get this flagpole.
This is one of the players that I was really interested in watching play with banded rifles. He was already one of the most accurate players in the league. Actually, Eli, the sensei, his former coach, actually saying he was the most accurate professional in the HGS back in late season 1. And now with the bandit, everybody's accuracy has gone up. So a player that oftentimes would shoot 70%, is Squall shooting 80? Is he shooting 90? Does the band ever even miss at this point? Really curious with how he's playing with the bandit.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see that skill showcased as this tournament goes on, and of course as the HCS season goes on as well. You're going to see 1 down for Antigravity here, and this is their opportunity to kind of just try and play their lives. The pushes are coming up through, and that's going to be an opening on the flagpole. So great job by Status Quo, continuing to pressure with that aggression.
Overshield is up. Eli's able to put it to use to take down his former student, I'm going to say. I'm not sure exactly what to go with that coach-player relationship, but either way, Eli trades out his life, taking down Squall. Status Quo eventually end up going 3 down. This is another opportunity for Antigravity to continue to fight for towards the mid-map. This is a battle of attrition here on Narrows, and as long as you're the one keeping the aggression on, as long as you're the one that's able to control that mid-map, you're going to have a lot better time than, say, Status Quo right now. We're kind of stuck on their third of the map.
Yeah, battle of attrition is a great way to put it here. It seems like you said, Antigravity's been on the positive of this aggression towards the top center. They're holding that mid map really well, and it's just the slays, right? We see the slays on both sides pretty even here, but you know, Status Quo has done a bit of a better job pushing off of those kills and taking space on the map based on those kills that they get.
10 kills, 8 assists so far for Necessity, but more importantly, a double push out of him and Burn. The damage goes down, and with that initial damage, they want to capitalize on it. Necessity ends up getting caught over toward the mid side, and the same thing for Burn, so not exactly able to get that bait and switch working just right, but Flame Sword might be the final player alive and the final chance to stop Antigravity from advancing this flag forward, and Eli the Sensei awarded the kill for that one. Staying alive, has his teammates here. Things looking pretty good for Antigravity.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great return right there for Antigravity. That flag was going to go up. The lift, oh my word, the lift up repulse play, going to bring him to top center here. He ends up going down, but a heads up play there by Eli to get up top center very quickly. We talk constantly about that 50% portion, but it's even more important with rockets coming up. Unfortunately, though, for Status Quo, Antigravity going to have the rockets in hand, and it's going to be Severance who wastes 2, who gets a kill off him.
Yeah, big kill by Burn, trading out his life despite not having the rockets, so being at a disadvantage, but still getting the trade out. And now Straight Sick gets a chance with the rockets, goes for a bit of a high risk, high reward cross map shot. Not exactly gonna take down that player, but is it an opening they can play through? Apparently not. Status Quo, they weather the storm, push Antigravity out of their base, and now Flame Sword has a chance to wreak havoc with the camo.
Yeah, this is where you have to really get those 100% plays. You talked about high risk, high reward. There should not be any risk with this camo, and unfortunately there was. Flame Sword's camo is going to go down instantly.
They must be watching the scouting report. They must have watched one of their previous matches. And Flamethrower must love playing that sword leg. I guess it's nice to have the experience on the map, but I mean, if you've been watching Flame Sword play Halo 3 for double-digit years, you know some of his tendencies. They find the camouflage player in Flame Sword, neutralize that immediately, and now 2 down for status quo. Anti-Gravity having a lot of control, a lot of momentum on their side.
Yeah, Severin's doing a good job too, right? He's holding back on their base, but essentially trying to play off of the spawns. He gets 1 spawn kill, but unfortunately he's a little bit too slow to get up top center of the map, and because of that, his teammates end up going down. That's going to be now 2 down for Antigravity, and although he does have that top center control, he was a little bit late on the rotation towards that 50% portion, and because of that, his team goes down.
Severin still has 2 shots left in the sniper, and it looks like he wants to advance forward. Burning off a screen, was able to take down Gunshot. Severance can't quite find the headshot he's looking for, but the second body shot is looking good. Flamesword down to 1 shot of Severance, wants to make sure he capitalizes on it, but Flamesword being a tricky kill, and in fact gets the reversal onto him. That's not going to be good for Anti-Gravity. Status quo once again having the chance to push up and to take advantage. And we're still tied up at 0 apiece. The next flag cap may just win the entire game.
Yes, the problem is you're playing with fire. Status Quo have had many opportunities off of their aggression and off their slays to push up on the map, and Anti-Gravity, they've been on their back foot this entire time. Those rockets are coming up. Squall is going to have this overshield though. Potentially he can do some damage with this and maybe get a flag pull, but it's the objective efficiency that's been really rough for this Status Quo roster.
So far, both of these teams seem evenly matched when playing for that initial control. The difference maker has to be the sandbox. Every single time you grab a rocket or a camouflage or even an overshield, you have to get value. It is going to be the difference maker between you capping a flag or continuing to fight over mid-map control for the next 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Burton takes height, beautiful repulse play. There's 2 more players you got to deal with. You're able to put Eli to 1 shot, and the frag takes down straight 6. So well played, but what happens with that? Are you able to do anything with it? Apparently not. 4 down goes Status Quo. Anti-Gravity, now they're the ones in the driver's seat.
Yeah, it's just been a back and forth, and it just seems like, Status Quo aren't able to really understand the spawns or aren't able to find the timings on the spawns here. They get the kills, but they're not able to get that objective efficiency because of the fact that they keep getting traded out. Once again, they will go 3 down. Finally, Anti-Gravity in that driver's seat, like you said, but Gunshot, the last player, he's going to go down, and this will be Status Quo once again on the top center of the map. 2 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. One of these teams have to act quick.
Flamesword still has a sniper, 5 shots to work with, but here comes Anti-Gravity. He's able to take down 1, but Gunshot responds with a double kill. 2 down now for each of these teams. The next slay's gonna be important, and Gunshot turns a double into a triple. Necessity, you almost were the 4th.
Yeah, there's a good trade there though by, I believe it was Eli. He ends up getting that 1 kill on the Necessity, and with that, he's able to stay top center on that 50% portion. 2 go down for Status Quo here though, and it's gonna be Flamesword who decides to play on the lower side of the map, but it's not gonna pay off for him. We're now at the 2-minute warning. Necessity has to die with this camo. This is a big kill by Gunshot right here, and I don't think he cleans him up. Necessity's gonna scurry away with this. This could be the game deciding camo.
Man over has 21 kills to his name, 12 assists, and Necessity now with the camouflage might be the most dangerous player on the map here, especially when going up against Overshield. The best equalizer to that Overshield is a camouflage and a sneaky player, but Necessity making a lot of noise on his way over towards top mid. He's going to be spotted and dealt with. Gunshot putting down some good damage. There's the kill onto him, the double onto Burn. Squall layer down to 1 shot. He does a great job avoiding that damage with the clamber, and Squall turns the tables onto that one. That should have been a triple. Yeah, that was a big kill by Squall. He follows up with another big kill as well. This could be the game deciding couple of kills that they needed. Squall also has a sniper, but it's what he does with it. Gets the killing spree too, has that top center control, and now you see Status Quo pushing in. They've got to force the spawns on the lift side of the map, but can they do that? In just a final minute worth of gameplay, this is an opportunity for Status Quo to put the nail in the coffin here. Connects with a body shot with the sniper. Players down to 1. The nade is going to finish him off. Beautifully placed by Squall before going down. And that is 3 down for Anti-Gravity. Status Quo going to continue to grind his flag forward. And Necessity putting his body between Gunshot and the flag runner might be the game-saving play. That flag should be going in. And now it's going to be Anti-Gravity that are really on the clock. 1-0 in favor of Status Quo. Less than 30 seconds plus sudden death to pull this flag across the map.
Yeah, it's not a lot of time, and it all came off the beautiful play by Squally there. The double kill, the low percentage couple of kills that he got on the top center of the map that really was able to open up the map for his teammates to pull that flag. A great play by him, and now, like you said, with 8 seconds left, it's going to be real difficult for Antigravity to push up and get a flag pull.
Oh, there is only one play on the map right now with his gunshot. Status quo ends up going 4 down. His teammates go 3 down, but still not enough time for him to get over there and pull that one. It's going to be a 1-0, and so will the series be 1-0 in favor of those boys in blue.
Wow, an absolute, again, I got to watch that play, right? Squally in a very low percentage fight. Gunshot gets caught out, but he's able to get another kill after that as well to solidify that top control, gets the sniper and does even more work. That entire sequence right there, Tony, was what won them the game, and honestly, a very big win for them as they go up 1-0 in the series. Look at the, let's take a look at the kill deaths as well for each squad. It looks like it was pretty even across the board, but, you know, of course, status quo being, you know, on the higher end of those kills.
Big plays across the board, 50 between both Necessity and Squally in that one, and also 27 assists between the two to go along with it. I would love to see the accuracy if possible. Actually, it looks like the game might be loading up, might not have enough time, but I want to see, there it is, 60% accuracy out of the two of them, and that's how it is. If you can put down damage and really limit your misses, you're going to be successful. And of course, there goes that damage, over 16,000, just like their power level. Status quo up 1-0 at the moment, and looking to make it 2-0 as we switch over to the pit.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Squally, and we always talked about him as being that, you know, very high accuracy player in season 1. It looks like with the meta change, 64% accuracy in that game, still maintaining that very accurate shot. I think it's going to help them, especially in that 1v1 that he won with no shields. I mean, those are the moments where you want that accuracy to be up there. You want to make sure you hit those perfect shots. And of course, with the Bandit, the individual skill rises just a bit. And we'll see how Squally is able to play in the rest of the series. Of course, like you said, and like we said, status quo have a 1-0 lead. And now we go to pit flag. Again, this map is really different, Tony, right? The other maps are kind of scaled for Halo Infinite, but I feel like this map has kind of stayed the same size as it was in Halo 3. But honestly, I think it works out. I think it plays a lot faster. I think it's a little more entertaining to watch as well. Let's hop into it.
Yeah, definitely interesting. I've seen I think faster is the way to put it, because I've seen games end 3-0 pretty quickly. I've also apparently seen Burton get a double kill with the fusion coil. I'm telling you guys, the gentleman's agreements are out the window. We ain't do no GAs back in Halo 3.
Now, of course, we are on Slayer because this is game number 2, and one of the things to pay attention to is the dynamic spawns, right? They're not going to be static spawns, at least I don't believe so, unless the map is a different map than what we saw in previous series. But if the spawns are dynamic, it's going to be one of those things where you have to isolate players on the map and push isolated players very quickly to force their teammates to spawn across the map on the other side. So we'll see how that kind of pans out here. A 5-3 lead so far.
Another sniper duel coming out. This time it's going to be Eli the Sensei going up against Necessity. Cross map from the tower to tower play. Meanwhile, Squally definitely having Necessity's back over toward the sword side, anticipating any push that may come over there. But right now, it's kind of feeling each other out. It's only a 2-kill game, and obviously both of these teams have tons of respect for each other. They're not trying to make any mistake. You know, you give a team an inch, and oftentimes they'll take a mile.
You're 100% correct. We've seen pace slow like this for years and years and years, especially on this map at moments where, like you said, players don't want to make a mistake. That's the first initial point of contact, right? This first kill is it's going to be what matters. In a great job right there by Eli, right? He takes a different angle and he's just mixing up his angle constantly to throw off Necessity so he can make sure he gets at least that first shot or wins that sniper battle. Unfortunately, though, they both hit each other in the body, but Flame Sword in the kill feed gets their first kill. And the second one as well, and hopefully it looks like Status Quo can push off this.
It looks like 2-for-1s is really what you're looking for Flame Sword and Status Quo. That double kill with the fusion core by Burn is what really opened things up and gave you that lead. And right now, a 4-kill lead feels like so much more because of how slow the pace has been. And now Burn gets the overshield at the moment here. Straight Sick is over toward the tower side. Necessity's in a Squally's in a bad spot, but Burn has his back. Necessity gets the double. Finally, Burn's able to find the third one. That is 3 down for Antigravity. This game ends up busting wide open. 1 kill turns to 2, turns into a full squad wipe so quickly.
Yeah, it's honestly such a big deal, right? To get that first initial kill. You really open the map with that, like you said. It'll be 17-6 now. Flamesword anticipating the flip spawns. And there'll be Shroud Screen, but that's not going to be utilized. Burton, though, does have the rockets, and these are going to extend the lead. A 2-for-1 with the rocket. We love to see those.
The Manchester explosive experts at this point. I mean, you got the double kill with the fusion core, a 2-for-1 with that rocket. Even that third rocket almost taking down another. As long as it's explosions, he's obviously an arson or something. Burton 7-3 at the moment here. 22-8 lead here for status quo. And now you got to think, if you're Antigravity, you want to change up the pace, you want to change up the strats, but now you got to realize that every body that you throw away, every bit of timing that you play fast is another opportunity for status quo to take over those mistakes. Status quo have a huge lead to work with, and it may just carry them to a 2-0 lead.
Flamesword's ready with an explosive of his own here with the barrel in his hands. We'll see if he's able to connect with anything on this. But, I mean, it was big, right? They cleared out their top turret. That is Antigravity, but you got to get through Burton again. And that's the problem, right? You got to get through not only, you know, clearing out your side, your base, but also quelling the push that comes through. Burton does a great job of staying alive in this situation. If you can stay alive a bit longer, maybe you can continue to hold these spawns. But again, you're rushing into a 1v1 where Burton is really hot. They finally take him out. But again, Burton is doing some big work here. 10-4 to start this game.
You know, I heard Straight Six been doing some Metafy lessons with some of the best, and I advise maybe he hit up Eli or hit up you. Don't be too hanging out with Coach Owen. Coach Owen 7 ain't gonna help you right now. This man needs a kill. Straight Six now with the overshield. It might just help him get introduced to Metafy Coach Juan. The man needs one kill, at least.
Well, we'll see if he can get it here. Looks like he has the OS, so it might just happen. His OS is now gone. Not going to really be able to utilize that. I like the fact that he's kind of backing off this play, though, right? He's not going to charge into sword there. He doesn't really have any information on where players are kind of sitting, and instead he goes towards Green Hall, and now they can get control of these rockets. These rockets could really step them up for the change of momentum. That first kill is going to do a little bit of that, and there you go. He puts 2 on the board when it matters the most.
There we go. The man starts to heat up. Immediately goes from 0 to 2 kills, and with that, now we see Antigravity eat away at that lead just a little bit. Obviously, quite a ways away from striking distance, but if it continues to snowball the way it is right now, who knows what could happen. Nades are going down. Eventually, so does Straight Six. 33-18 lead. You still have to limit your deaths.
That's the thing, right? Is it too little too late? Because now all status quo needs to do is go for trades at this point, right? If you just kind of play in twos and play angles. It looks like Gunshot. He's aware of Flamesword at the bottom of his turret. I like that he clears that out. You get that first kill, but 2 of your teammates are dead, and that's the problem, right? You get that first kill that gives you that numbers advantage, and then 2 of your teammates die, so now you're back to square one, having to play your life and put damage in to take control back of your side, and you're just not able to do it.
Gunshots are being taken down over toward the tower side when it switch gears onto Flamesword, and you're still up by double digits. You still must feel so comfortable on the map now due status quo, especially behind Burton and his 2.0 KD, not even including the assist. And Necessity getting a little jiggy with the sword. Gunshots right next to him with the sniper, but does he know that? There it is. Body shot onto him. It still doesn't stop Destiny from getting the sword lunge, and now a sword and sniper combination. Really tough. Actually, looks like the sword might have been out of ammo. He's going back to the bandit.
Well, that's the thing, right? You give Necessity the sniper, but you also give him 2 clean kills with no trade. No one's able to clean up the kill. Necessity was no shields 2 times. And Antigravity were not able to clean him up, and he's consistently just getting kill after kill, not dying. And this is not what you like to see if you're Antigravity.
Just looking for 9 more. Necessity and Burton are grinding forward. Actually, Burton ends up going down quickly due to Straight Six sniper. Oh my gosh. Straight Six from 0-7. He must have heard me. I must have made him angry on that one. Because now 9-9 don't look too bad at all, but it's still the important stat of status quo, only being 2 squad wipes away from ultimately taking this game and being 1 game away from taking the series. I don't want to say it's impossible for Antigravity, but with them ultimately going 4 down, status quo having all the control, it's definitely not looking probable for them.
Yeah, all the probability goes away the minute that 45 kill mark is hit without getting 35 on the other side, and you can see it right there. 2 kills is all that remain here for status quo with the dominating game number 1. It looks like they'll close out game number 2 in dominating fashion as well. 18, make that 19-10 out of Burton. Everyone having a phenomenal game on the side of status quo.
And think about how that game started, how tight it was. It was like 5-3, and we still were like 2.5 minutes in with how close it was. And the only reason why they even had that 2-kill lead was because of a 2-for-1 fusion coil kill by Burton. So it was just really interesting to see how slow the game ended up starting out, and then how quickly things just got out of hand. From a 5-3 start to ultimately a 25-8 lead by Status Quo, and then from there, you know, it's almost impossible for you to lose the game. At that point, Antigravity went on a nice little run. We saw Straight Sick definitely do a much better performance in the Slays department, but eventually that hole is too deep for you to climb out of.
It absolutely is. And now they look to game number 3. This is where reverse sweeps start, though. And honestly, we saw Straight Sick on Sylvanas before, Tony. Can he pull it out again, though? Like, we saw some incredible clips. You said it yourself, right? If the tournament ended around, I think it was round number 2 or round number 3. I think it was round number 3. Then he would be the MVP, right? He played phenomenal in that game. Can he do it again? Does he have the energy in the tank to do it again? And does the rest of, you know, Antigravity have the energy to bring this back? It's going to be a long series if they want to do so, but Status Quo looking for the throat now.
Yeah, it was crazy what we saw this man do earlier in the tournament. Even up against Optic, he was slaying out and really showing off. So weird if this team's going to have any chance of trying to beat out Status Quo, no matter what the game type and map is. It's going to be behind the heavy slaying performance like he had ultimately against Optic Gaming. One thing I also noticed about the stats as well, Squale, 70%, over a 70% accuracy. We talked about him constantly with the BR and that accuracy stat, and it carries over here with the Bandit. But a new map and maybe a new result for Antigravity.
Yeah, this map has definitely changed a bit. You've got like the bottom of gold that you can go towards camo with. You see it playing out right over here. Camo being on that green side. Then there's the top side as well where the lift is. So things have definitely changed. That top center is really interesting as well because you have that headshot angle that you can utilize. But right off the bat, it's going to be 4 down for Status Quo and an answer back from the man we talked about. It's Straight Sick with a sniping hands.
And this map is going to be a lot different for certain players. For example, Eli the Sensei. This map has been out since Season 1. Beautiful shot by Straight Sick. And it obviously has gone through a bit of changes, but he's been playing custom games and playing free-for-alls, sniper, BR starts and whatnot, having some fun time on this map. So maybe he's a little bit more familiar on this map than, say, somebody who doesn't play any fun customs whatsoever. So that's one interesting thing about Sylvanas. One also interesting thing is that you could throw it off the map and it's going to hang out on bottom mid for a little bit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too. Like you talk about throwing it off the map. I think one of the things that Antigravity didn't have in that that third round of the winners bracket is objective efficiency, right? Yeah, Straight Sick was able to get all those kills and slay out like a menace, but they weren't able to get the objective time that they needed, and that's something I want to see kind of change here. They have 12 seconds already. We'll see if they can continue to get these slays and start to mount up this ball time.
That ball spawning over toward the mid map. So even if you have top control, it doesn't automatically mean that you'll be able to grab or even defend the ball. You got to be cognizant. You have to be aware of what's going on at the bottom side of the map. Meanwhile, Straight Sick going straight toward the top mid, playing a bit of cover here, makes his way over toward the green side, and that ball is going to rotate away from the spawning players from Status Quo. This should be some good time for Antigravity.
Yeah, it would be some good time, but unfortunately Straight Sick over challenges there when he has green control, so because of that, it'll be a kind of a push. Oh, that trade is real good though. To Severance, I think that was with the stick. Because of that trade, they'll get a little bit more ball time, and Snipe coming up, Gunshots looking to get that one. Uh-oh.
But he turns away.
Bad timing.
Halo timing coming in right there. Luckily, Gunshot still able to get the big win. Squale comes in quick with the cleanup, and he deserves this sniper in his hands at the moment. 3 down for Antigravity. Squale looking for those spawning players. It only takes 1 or 2 shots with this S7 to really create momentum out of nowhere. Eli stole that camouflage and looks like he's going ghost.
Yeah, he stayed alive, which is really huge with that camo. They're already, surpassing 40 seconds. They're about to hit the halfway point for this first round. So all they need is a couple more slays and some time. Eli gets the trade. That's a beautiful double. That's 3 down now for Status Quo.
Make it 4. Burton not able to stay alive, and you're already on a 56-0 run now where Antigravity is going to continue to grow. This could be the final setup that Antigravity used, but I'm not sure why that ball got played right there.
I don't know.
I guess I missed something.
Yeah, I don't know. There wasn't any pressure coming from any side. Maybe someone got weak and just kind of, you know, they didn't want to pull a clutch. I'm sorry, clutch. I love you. But regardless, 58 seconds and counting here for Antigravity, and again, the objective efficiency is there. They're getting the slays. They have the objective efficiency, and that's exactly what we asked for out of them. What is this? What is going on right now? He takes the backside of the map and stays alive with a pancake. Okay. Jeez.
Ball in the hands of Antigravity. Nice little setup out of them. It was a nice little setup until they immediately end up going 3 down. Ball now played off of the map, and still status quo getting no free time because of the play balls, and they're gonna have to earn every single second on the map, including the 3 lonely seconds that they have right now. Ball rotated right back over toward that blue side. It looks like both teams favoring that setup so far. They feel comfortable even going back to Halo 3. You wanted to play that back blue side, want to play that elbow. And I was fragging like a pro. I watched the T-Squared videos. I watched them.
Love that. Doing your homework. Love that so much. But it's really good here, right? Because they have 80 seconds, and now status quo is starting to get a little bit scrappy. You're starting to notice they're getting scrappy on the map. They're just trying to get all the cleanup kills that they can, but also they're grabbing that ball from bottom center, and it's putting them in bad positions. You see Burton, he's gonna try and get this sniper, repulses up, but that ball is still being bottom center with 2 minutes left in this round number 1. Status quo have to act quick, and look, it's Antigravity who feel real comfortable outslaying status quo, at least in these past couple of confrontations.
Yeah, I feel like the one thing Antigravity have with this huge lead is it's just comfortability. Like you can play to really secure your kills. At no point in time do you have to play scrappy gameplay and put yourself in an awkward position. And every single slay that goes in your favor and all that neutral time is going to work very much in your favor after the big kill coming out of Severance. And eventually you're either going to beat them with the scoreboard or the time. So slow and steady wins the race. It limits your mistakes, and eventually you just end up winning that battle of attrition. Meanwhile, status quo, they're the ones that have to constantly pressure. They're the ones that constantly have to find Antigravity on this giant map, secure those kills, get the ball time. And even then, you're not going to be all that comfortable enough because Antigravity come right off the spawn and get aggressive right back on you. So the large leads are just so tough to deal with, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And that seems like kind of an obvious point now that I'm saying it out loud.
No, it's a very good point and very important. But you know what else is really important? Straight Sick loves this map. 18-8 in round number 1. Absolutely slaying out of his mind once again. And we talked about it already. I spoke about it. The objective efficiency wasn't there last time. Now we're starting to see Eli, Severance pick up some ball time, and now we're starting to see this team come together. We'll see if they can continue this though in round number 2.
Flames are going all the way down to 1 shot, but luckily has his teammates with them to hopefully play his life. It's still status quo that are 2-0 in the series at the moment, despite the fact that Antigravity only need 1 more round to ultimately take this game. They are in a desperate situation to keep their their tournament life alive at the moment here. 2 quickly going down for Antigravity. Status quo having a bit of control. You see them playing with a little bit more urgency than they played in that round number 1. They want to be the ones to go off with the opening lead as opposed to having to play from behind like they did all round 1 long.
Yeah, urgency is a great way to put it, right? They get those 2 dead, and immediately they're on that ball. Immediately they're getting time. Unfortunately, it's only 3 seconds of time. They weren't able to get much more, and it's going to be Eli with that sniper in his hands. Nice try to stay alive there. Unfortunately, the shock grenades were a little bit too much pressure. But regardless, you're seeing status quo a little bit more objective efficient off these kills. We'll see if they continue that as the game goes on.
Destiny putting some good damage down, but not able to stay alive. He's gonna be the first one to go down. I always say it, if you're in a 4v4 situation, don't be the first one to go down. Don't put your teammates in a position where they have to go off and make a play in order to equalize the situation. So status quo eventually 1 turns to 2. Almost a 3rd down right there, but Nessa gonna take down Severance, and Straight Sick still can't find his way to stay on the map. But you got 20 kills. You're allowed to make a mistake or 2.
That's right. He's like, let me help the enemy team out just a bit. But yeah, Unfortunately, I believe on that little side, I believe he's trying to get back on the lift. I'm not sure, but regardless, he ends up falling off the map. It's going to be status quo now that take the lead in this round number 2. Look at the push from top center. This is what you like to see. You get that first initial kill on the Squale. The only problem is they did trade out 1 kill. Eli goes down. So they're just kind of trying to like trade out these slays to make sure that they're on top of most of them. But it looks like status quo doing a great job of defending.
Nades going down here. Severance able to avoid most of the lethal damage. Drops a few dynamo grenades on his way going down the blue ramp. Sadly, ends up going down. So a 2v2 scenario. And Gunshot immediately going to take height over towards his grapple. This ball being used as bait towards the middle of the map. As of right now, status quo have a small advantage. Nothing to feel comfortable with.
Yeah, the advantage comes from the sniper on the snipe side of the map, and Eli's going to look to break that. A great shot by Burton. Gunshot trying to peek that side. That was always a very, very risky peek right there. The Gunshot was taking. He doesn't end up going down, but at the end of the day, he's the last player alive, and he wasn't able to provide that pressure. Great job providing pressure towards the end, but he will get traded out instantly, and this will be more ball time now for status quo in round number 2 of this game.
And Burton showing why he was a heavily sought after free agent time and time again. Not only did his thing of North America, but if you remember, he actually had a stint with Jay Lings after helping his father out with the family business over in EU. So he's one of the only professional players, one of the few, barcode and tapping buttons that actually have found success and have played professionally in 2 different regions.
You gotta love that, and you can see why he was sought after here. 16 and 11 already in this game. Status quo, 50% part of round number 2. They've already hit 50 seconds, and just looks like they're playing much more comfortable in this round number 2. It just looks like Antigravity are not able to find slays, and the objective efficiency has kind of slowed down. And Straight Sick, he started ended round number 1. I believe it was 19 and 7. I believe it was. He's 22 and 12, so having a bit of a slower round number 2. That could be one of the reasons why they're not able to really get this effective ball time. But again, it's just about making sure to play that defense, get those power weapons, as well as you see that snipe spawns on bottom snipe.
Yeah, you hate to put so much responsibility on one player. That's right. Gets a perfect kill and puts damage onto the ball carrier. But Anti-Gravity feels like a team that kind of goes where Straight Sick goes. When he's struggling in a round or a game, the team is. When he's popping off, usually his team is feeding off of that. So keep feeding Straight Sick every power weapon. Keep feeding him in engagements. Keep that man alive, because as long as Straight Sick is going off, you have a chance of winning this one. But as of right now, you find yourself down 22 points due to Anti-Gravity, and status quo are making it hard for you to get any ball time at all.
Yeah, you can see, like you just said, right? Straight Sick now starting to get some kills. He's got 4 kills, make that 5 now in the past, minute of the game. And look at the ball time, 28 to 50. He tries to push the advantage there on the gold, but still going to be 2 players alive for status quo that they got to take care of, and they're going to be spawning on that blue side. So very important that Eli gets this kill. He does, but he gets traded out instantly. But I like the play from Severance, right? A very scrappy ball time. I like this out of him. He's not able to get much more, but at least he got 1 or 2 seconds there. Ends up going down, though, and because of it.
And not only does Severance end up going down, but that ball not really in a playable position. So almost free time now coming in for status quo, who already had the lead. And okay, all right. And hey, some players just be having overshot without having overshot. I swear, I swear, I don't miss shots in the game. I don't know. Players just be having OS. Destiny finds out the hard way. Great plays out of him, though. Not only able to deal with what could have been maybe a little bit of blank melee, but able to stay alive and taking down multiple players since then. 4 down, go Anti-Gravity, and status quo might be holding on to their last setup of the round.
Yeah, these last rockets are going to be huge here, and you see Necessity already positioning himself, gets the killing spree. Now he's got kind of position on the rockets. I think someone did escape down there and did grab rockets. I think it was Eli, but he ended up committing suicide with them, so those rockets might be out of play right now. Oh, no, Straight Sick picks them up, so now Straight Sick has the rockets in his hand, but he gets taken out so very quickly. So a great job by status quo right there to take care of the biggest threat, and that's the player with the rockets, and they do just that. And now the Bulldog is pretty much going to secure this round here for status quo. It looks like we may be going to round number 3 with 3 down for Anti-Gravity. Make that 4.
And that's when Burns at his most dangerous right there. When you only need less than 10 seconds of ball time and you know that ball's right there. Notice he grabs it for a few seconds and immediately drops it. He didn't even know where those players were. He just knew that that ball is bait. The enemy team has to hold forward towards you, and when you have a shotty, you welcome the challenge.
Absolutely you do. It's all about scavenging for that sandbox. Eli doing a little bit of that. He gets the repulse here, but the most important part is to stay alive on the snipe tower. It's just that anchor point, especially to help with his camo. Although the camo is down lower, you still have a sight line on it from that snipe side. You see two go down for both sides of both rosters, but Burton comes out on top with a snipe in his hands.
26 kills so far here for Burton, looking to put his 27th on the board, but gotta be careful. It's Severance that has camouflage, so a nice little backspec onto one could turn to a double kill and could end up getting him that sniper. It looks like gets the assist, but Burton's still alive with the sniper. Finally finds him, and the backspec not going to connect, and Burton leapfrogs his way to taking that sniper off the map. Meanwhile, simultaneously, his teammates grabbing hold of the ball, getting a bit of sneaky time, and now getting the spawners they were looking for. Everything going right for status quo, and Severance still hasn't found a body to shoot.
Yeah, they're just playing the objective efficiency so very well. I absolutely love that, right? They get that rotation, they get that little bit of time as well. Now they're at 27 seconds compared to Antigravity 0.
I can't believe we just saw an advanced game, a professional keep away with that ball. Flame Sword just dribbling like Steve Nash out there, moving that ball from one side to another, and just everything coming together as well as it did. Almost a work of art for status quo, and it's led to a 30-0 run and the first kill onto Antigravity when trying to hold on to the setup. Multiple members of status quo holding the line here. Straight Sick may have found the easy kill, but Necessity makes it as hard as possible with the shroud and is playing his life. Eventually, Nate takes him down. Straight Sick is grinding forward. Even if he doesn't get the kill, he could get a play ball situation if that pressure does come in.
I really like that pressure from Antigravity. It took a little while to get that kill on the bottom center of the map, but they should be able to get some ball time off of this. It's just that they have to follow up with the slays as well. You see this positioning here from Eli. This is a great position on the map. I'd want him more to sit down bottom green, but unfortunately he gets pushed there, and with Snipe coming up, it's going to be up to Severance and squad to make something happen. Burn just going for the barrel toss. He's gonna end up dying, so like there's just like, you know, it's stacking up, right? It's a ripple effect. One thing at a time happens, it makes things worse and worse and worse, and now Antigravity find themselves in a disadvantageous position.
I told you before, Burns an explosive expert. I'm surprised that call didn't bounce off for 3 nades and get a triple kill with how good he's been with it. Eli the Ninja getting a nice little angle on that player over toward the elbow side, and with that 3 down goes status quo. Body shot onto Flame Sword is gonna end up finishing him off. Antigravity rotating this ball and look like they're gonna take the first lead here in the round. The question is, do they run away with it from here? Because this is a big map. Once you have a setup locked in and you start chaining some kills together, it gets really bad really soon. Catches that man in the lift, almost catches the bottom mid angle. It takes 2 to take him down, and eventually 3 down go Antigravity.
Yeah, it's
Destiny, what the?
I still think Eli played that so well, though, honestly, right? He had the snipe. He was anticipating the lift up. They had a really solid setup for a long period of time. He just got kind of pushed from multiple angles and wasn't really getting too much help. So he felt a little bit pressured here, but you know, Antigravity still get that ball time. They still have a nice little solidified setup here on the green. It's all about these next couple slays, but again, there are a lot of no shield players kind of poking out, just trying to prevent that push from happening, and so the play ball will have to happen once again.
I'm still trying to find out. Necessity fell off the map when Antigravity was 3. It was 3. That it might have even been 4 down right there, and Necessity still ends up falling off the map. Squale finding the gunshot. Teammate off a screen, turning it into back-to-back kills. So nice little control out of status quo. Should lead to a camouflage grab here for Flame Sword. And oh, okay.
Wow.
All right, maybe he's played this map a time or two. You know, they do have those status quo community nights that were going on, and maybe he's played Sylvanas a few times.
Yeah, you can tell his movement on the map. He's definitely got some experience with it. It's a great play to get camo, drop down, get that bulldog, and now he's solidified bottom center control. So the only thing I worry about with this is if a top center push comes through, which it doesn't look like it's going to just yet, he might be in a little bit of trouble, and it looks like this camo will run out. Only 1 kill of value, and all the while, I mean, the more valuable thing is getting that ball time, and it looks like they tie up the game, and not even that, they take the lead as well.
This is where Status Quo have the opportunity to really take control. You're just taking the lead. You're fresh off of putting Antigravity 3 down. We talk about taking advantage of putting your opponents 3 down and finding out where those spawners are and limiting their options, especially when you have weapons like the sniper here for Burton or the repulse, or just combine the two and send Straight Sick right off the map and right back to the respawn screen. 3 down, go Antigravity again, making a fresh 3 down as Eli is not able to force that ball off the map, and some favorable spawns over toward the green side. They make it through, and oh my gosh, Burton with the movement, still not done. Repulse is Straight Sick back. Burton is on an absolute tear right now, and I'm here for it.
He is playing with his food, and he'll play his food with his food all the way to victory as Status Quo 3-0 against Antigravity in the lower bracket. They'll move on to play Gunplexion Squad.
When you don't respect gravity, you end up falling quick right there, because I promise you what goes up must come down. And although Antigravity went up 1-0 in rounds in that oddball and we're looking very good, they end up going down 2-1 in that game, 3-0 in the series. Status Quo going to be advancing forward to that losers bracket round 4.
So many great plays there, so many opportunities. I think that that very first round definitely was sparked by all the slays from Straight Sick. Round number 2, you know, started off a bit slow. They started to pick things up a bit though, and just that round number 3, they had so many opportunities, especially when they had that first lead, but they weren't really able to get that play ball off. They weren't really getting help on that green side of the map, and because of that, Status Quo were just able to find holes in the defense. It was this play right here, right? He gets that first snipe, but look, he's getting pressured from camo side. He knows the push is coming down bottom center. There's just not much he can do, and then it's Burton, who's just, like I said, playing with his food at this point, utilizing the sandbox perfectly, gets 2 kills cleanly, and just continues on, and they'll get the last couple seconds of ball time, but just a beautiful job there, by Status Quo to just kind of finish that off and do so in a very dominant fashion.
And it's funny because I feel like when we watch Burton, like his gameplay has never been like very like, you know, show offy. I'm gonna go with, even though that's probably a horrible phrase. So like with that repost to the sky, I mean, what did he do? He knew there was players pushing up. He tried to avoid as much damage as possible and get his shields back. It looked flashy, but I feel like it was a pretty fundamental play. And the same as the nades start to come down, he does the same thing. And even when Straight Sick got close to him over toward the S2 side of things, he said, you know what? Let me repulse him back. It's still fundamental play, but when Burton makes plays like that, it's like, oh well, hold on, Burton, who's that right now? But I think good fundamentals is really hard to find within some of our some of our top amateur players, some of our professionals. So when I see screens like Squall, and Burns, I tend to respect them. Good reticle placement, simply hitting your shots, and just playing good overall Halo is what's needed for some teams to advance forward, and that includes Status Quo. Tim, how you enjoying this tournament so far? It's been pretty icy, huh?
Dude, I just been smiling the whole time. It's just like I joke all the time that I'm an old man, but it's nostalgia just running through my veins.